Hello and welcome to the Lumen Project. I'm Dr. Helene, clinical psychologist. Today I'm joined by Xavier Andignac. So let's get started.
Hello.
Hi Xavier, thanks so much for having this interview with me.
That's a pleasure.
So will you tell us a bit about who you are and
Yeah.
what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Xavier. I help intuitive and multi-talented people to remove emotional and energetic blockages for them to have a better sleep, release chronic pain and emotional burden in order that they have a more aligned life.
Wow, okay. So is this something you've always done, or did you have a career before getting into this energy work?
Well, I was an engineer before in a famous aerospace industry.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So the fun fact is my job at the time was to find the issues, the root cause of issues in the engineering softwares and system. And I was the bridge between IT system and the engineering.
Oh, okay.
So it's really nice. And yeah, in fact, 11 years in this industry, I didn't find any meaning. And I feel not rewarded for my work. And I had a shift at some point that led me to start training in professional coaching.
Okay. So with that shift, was it just a slow trickle, or did something big happen in your life to lead you towards coaching?
I would say it's interesting because I had an interview with the head of all multi-program aircraft.
Okay.
If you see what company I'm talking about.
No, I don't
No,
know. NASA?
no, Airbus.
Airbus? Okay.
Yeah. With the head of all multi-program engineering, I had an interview, and at this time, I felt that it did not reward me for the work that I did, and I felt anger, disgust about the system of this company. And from this point, I get involved in personal development, doing some events, some work on myself. And 6 months later, I came back in his room, and I say, I need to talk to you. And I told him that thank you for this interview we had, even though I don't accept all what you said, but it helped me to make a start to a journey towards myself.
You decided what you wanted, you decided your
Yeah.
worth, your value.
And he was like so happy that I could, come back to him, say this, and he was like, you made my journey.
Wow.
And this person, he saw the move and the changes I did through my own journey. And he was talking to me to all the different leaders he was encountering and so on. It was very funny. And it's actually the last person I called. And I say, Bruno, I need to talk to you. I'm leaving Airbus.
Wow.
It was in 2020. And thank you for everything and so on. And he's like, wow, you just like very interesting that from an interview it led you to do what you like, and now you finally decide to go on your own journey.
Yes, amazing. And so that journey is taking you from Airbus all the way to the mountains of Pi. That's quite.
Yeah.
So I understand that step into life coaching, but what is the little step then into spiritual work or energetic work?
Yeah, actually, in 2022, I did a trip around France by bicycle.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was basically a lot following my intuition. So I developed like really tuning with my intuition to knock to the door of somebody, to choose my way, and so on, or cleansing myself, because when you are very empathetic and you go to sleep in every day to someone else place, you feel drained. because you catch a lot of emotional, energetic stuff, and
Especially in
sometimes
their home, I think even more probably.
yes, exactly, in the personal space.
Mm-hmm.
And I was connecting with nature and asking the forest, the element, the wind to cleanse me. And I was really feeling like energetic flows through my body. And I was like, okay, maybe it's really happening, And through this journey, I the three quarter after the start,
Yes.
I went with an energetic mentor to do a retreat and to do my first like exercises about energy work.
Nice.
And that, yeah, actually led me to this energy work.
Amazing. Wow. So I love that you kind of threw away the map and you like, I'm going to be guided by my intuition about what feels right and let's see what happens. That sounds like freedom that a lot of us probably need to give ourselves permission to have.
Yeah, it's actually interesting what you say, because that's what I faced through this journey. I rented my apartment in Airbnb, so I had revenues coming, and but I had culpability, guilt of just cycling every day while many people are working every day. And so I went through this path, giving me authorization of doing this, of going on my path, of going on a path that is different than the norm.
Yes, yeah. But I think I'm grateful to you, having just experienced a session with you, because if you hadn't have taken that time for yourself, you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't have helped me. So yeah, sometimes we have to deviate from that straight line and yeah, cool. So you helped me today, but tell me a bit about who you work with or, where you've seen transformation with your work.
Yeah, as I said in the beginning, I help more intuitive, empathetic people, multi-talented, like we call them, I forgot the word, but multi-potentialite.
Okay.
People having different interests, different talent, and sometimes they don't make sense of it. And I help them making sense out of the different skills they have, and I help them to realize that they have intuitive abilities, and they can combine their talents with their intuitive abilities and coming up with more hearted solution. Because I believe, and my job is helping the new leader to emerge, new leader heart-centered, because the world needs this now. And usually, yeah, the work is more focused on emotional issues, burden, is relationship to oneself, relationship with people, or relationship with their business. It can be relationship with money, with feeling worthy of doing what they do, because when you're multi-talented, you're not an expert. And in the West, we value expert. We don't value generalist, and we don't value people that have different skills. So it's going through this path of what is my singularity, accepting this, and coming up with new solutions that are maybe out of the norm and that are not backed up by sometimes science.
Yes. Well, it's very interesting that you talk about that because so I just discovered you in Pi. I saw your poster and I just felt drawn to, I was like, I have to meet you. And on that poster, it was not super explicit that that's who you are attracting, but I felt that pull to you. And I've often felt like multi-talented or maybe not talented enough. I don't know. Even in psychology as the profession, it's one of the few types of psychology where you learn a little bit of everything. And my dad once said I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. So I really relate to what you're saying. And I think that's probably something that brought me to you today, is how to integrate my talents or my different things I've got going on.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's typical for neurodivergent also.
Yep. Also me.
To not feel they fit in what society brings, and society for me has been splitting because it's easier for the mind to understand,
Yes, to put in a box.
comprehend. And but for me, if you look at nature, nature doesn't compartment. Nature is holistic. The worms, the mycelium connecting, since everything is connected. And through my approach is always trying to find the holistic way approach, because we didn't do it, but I also have a manual approach with trigger point therapy, with some Chinetsang, and I believe that if we are following our truth, we can find and tune and connect the dots between different disciplines, where people, they will say, why you do this? You know, before I was doing Aikido and Thai boxing. And people, they're like, but Aikido, it's, you know, connecting with the other, it's a Japanese martial art. Connecting with others and non-violent martial arts, but kickboxing or Muay Thai, it's like very violent. Yeah, but yin and yang.
Yes.
You know, and for me, I always have this approach. It's not because I'm doing something soft that I cannot do something more harsh. And you know, we are everything. If you say just love,
yeah, we're multi-dimensional beings.
yeah. If you say I'm only joy, no, you have all the shades of emotions. You know, like
definitely have a shadow in there somewhere.
yeah. And if you don't say I have anger, that's not true, or you're hiding, or you're not. And sometimes it's dangerous not to see all the different shades of who we are and what we are capable of.
Yeah. And I think in my work, what I see is, you know, there's more socially acceptable things that people present, the joy or the calm, but the bitterness, the anger or whatever, that's a bit better to suppress and to hide away. So yeah, I like how you try to integrate the whole person. I was curious, with your work, is there anyone maybe you don't work with or something that's gone wrong with your work?
No, basically, like energy work, you have to like be careful who you work with, because um, with invasive illness, cancer, for example, uh, the person doing energy work has to be very skillful, because energy can give food to the cells, the wrong cells. So usually invasive uh, illness is forbidden. It's not something to take care. And what was the question?
Yeah, or just maybe, I don't know, anything that's ever gone wrong in your work.
Energy work is a kind of also trusting, letting go. So people that are too much controlling, too much asking question of how it's working, no, they will maybe through the process, I do a step towards the person, but the person has to do a step toward herself. And if the mind just during the session say, why is doing this, blah, 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 you kind of blocking the access to your inner healer.
Yes, yeah. And I guess I observed that a bit, you know, at the start, maybe I felt a little bit nervous. And so I was rationalizing. You're like, okay, no, stop, think, sink into your body. You know, I felt like an active participant in what you were doing. So I guess if someone's very blocked or very in their head, this is not going to make the process as smooth for them.
Yeah. And I can, for some issues, for example, if we take sleep issue or chronic pain, I have done sometimes remote work. The
Remote
person
work.
is in Europe, and I
Yes.
do the work, like I worked on osteoarthritis with
Nice.
a elderly person, and I didn't even, I just had a 15-minute talk, and I said, okay, I will do the work in the 48, 72 hours. I don't tell you when I do.
Yes.
Because, people, they will say, oh, that's placebo, blah, blah, blah. But I like to do it and people don't know, because sometimes they will be like, wow, I felt chills in my arm, or something happened that I noticed. And through this, sometimes I can do on my own. But even the person, if she's like too closed off and something, it can also work.
Yes.
But sometimes, I feel I've done some skin issues. And with skin issues, if the person is not willing to do a step toward themselves, because skin issues is sometimes a lot of emotional stuff behind, I cannot do all.
Yes. Yeah.
People have to learn, to have learning from why they have this. So sometimes, that can be the case if the person is not willing to go 100%.
Yes. And I definitely relate to that as well with therapy. I think some people come with the expectation that it's going to be a magic pill, or it's going to be quick, or I'm going to give them this nugget of information. Yes, I love that. And sometimes it is so, but sometimes, they have to be open or go there with me. So on that note, is there anything like our viewers or listeners could do to take one step closer towards their healing, or towards their energetic connection or spiritual connection?
Yeah. So to have more this self-awareness and inner guidance, there is to be more connected with your intuition. And intuition, what is it? Sometimes it's very vague, but it can be very tangible. And it's more like a self-awareness of what's going on within. So we have 5 senses, and um, above, or like beyond the senses, there is the clear. So there is the seeing, and
Clairvoyant.
and there is the clairvoyance. There is the hearing, and there is the clairaudience. And there is the feeling of the body, and there is the clairsentience.
Yes.
And so on and so on. And developing um, peace in the mind and awareness of what's going on within can help the people to have inner wisdom, inner messages. Let's say I meet someone, I feel tension in my chest. Interesting. What is this sensation? I can question myself. What is this sensation? And be aware of images, sensations, or if you have a clear cognizance, is the words. For me, it's kind of printing. I see words, tuk, 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 tuk. And if I write, intuitive writing, I can get some wisdom out of it. So it's developing self-awareness of what's going on within.
Nice. So if you want to develop your intuition, it's about stopping, noticing, being curious,
Yes.
dropping down maybe to get
If there is a
information.
doubt, there is no doubt. It means when there is doubt, when you feel something and you have doubts, it already your critical mind. So you have to come back to the body to breathe, or find your way to find quietness.
Yes.
And tune again to your intuition. Whenever I have doubts, I don't know, like da 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 da, I stop, quiet, back to my body and presence, and there I tune again to the different channel of intuition.
Great. I love that. It's definitely something that I want to tune into a bit more in my busy day. Okay, so my last question is, what's next for you?
So the next things is developing group workshops.
Nice.
And group, transformational energy healing for groups, where people will be at the same time doing self-healing, but I will also do minor work on them. So that's the aim. And going through the world, traveling, transmitting wisdom, Yeah.
Amazing. Great. Well, maybe we'll see you again at one of my workshops,
Yeah,
or
it would
maybe
be
our
nice.
paths will cross. Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe we can try a little bit of your medicine
Okay.
to show people, yeah, what you
Okay.
do.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
sure.
you. Merci beaucoup.
Avec plaisir.
We already had a session just now,
Yeah.
but I think it would be really valuable to share how you work and
Yeah.
the processes you go through.
Yeah, sure. So the first thing that I do before I start is to cleanse the place. Is very important to not have anything interfering with you, protecting the place where you are. For me, it's connecting to telluric energy, energy from Mother Earth, and cosmic energy, and creating a bubble where I will feel only the information and not the emotional charge. So this is very important because I do by clairsentience. So tuning with your energy, I feel in my body what's going on in your body.
Mm.
And in order not to keep this, and an interesting hint, if you are drained after a session, is that something is not right.
You mean as a practitioner,
As a
if you get,
practitioner, yeah.
yes, yes,
And
something's off.
yeah,
You've absorbed something from
yeah.
your client, maybe.
And so I do this, but when I'm doing healing, energy go from pure source of energy. It can be sun, can be cosmic energy, can be something. It goes, it goes through my hands, but I don't pull in.
Mm.
It's just out.
Mm. Okay.
And this allows not to take in anything.
So you become a vessel
I'm a
for.
vessel.
Mm.
I don't take anything. I just transform something. I'm just changing the nature of the information.
Mm. Okay.
So nature of information is an emotion. It's anger. I transform anger into joy, into peace, into what the person wants.
Mm.
If it's dark, I transform it into white color, whatever sounds right for the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's try.
That's right. And the first thing is, so there is different way. Either asking a topic or tuning in with what you need.
Mm.
So usually people come and they have a question, we clarify the intention of the session and we work towards this. Or if she's like totally open and like, okay, what's good for me, we can do this. But I tend to prefer the, I
Yeah.
see you coming. No.
Well, I guess I was curious, we had
Yeah.
a session just now and I
Yeah.
did set an intention to have a
Yeah.
clearer connection to source. But I'm curious what I need now, having just
Yeah.
experienced
Yeah.
you.
So for this, what I will do is to tune into your energy and ask internally the question, what Helene needs. And in a state of being calm and quiet within, I just let information coming in. And it can be sensation in my body. Usually for me, it's like this. It's more like everyone works differently. And everyone has to find how they work energetically. So I can tune with this. So now what is coming, it's I have heat in the middle upper back, warmth coming in. You feel anything in your body?
I guess, well, with what you're saying, maybe I feel just some muscular tension there, but often if I'm doing energy work, I feel like a stuckness in my solar plexus. So I don't know if that's what you're feeling or.
And yeah, this, when I breathe in this, I feel here, and here is like the duodenum. Duodenum is the exit of the stomach.
Oh, yeah.
I feel a little, yeah, kind of tension and being a little stiff in this area. And what I can do now is, from this sensation, I can ask what is the source, what is the root cause of this sensation.
This information you're receiving
Yeah,
from me.
and after asking and after getting information and giving it to you to see what is coming up, how is resonating. It's just challenging because we do in, in front of camera, which I never did. But
Ooh.
I start seeing some images, but it's not clear, so I need to just let it come. And if it's not clear enough, I have to ask why it's not clear enough, why there is an interference.
Okay.
Oh. And here the heat comes spread and comes here. And you see, I did kind of something like this. It's kind of something that is not pleasant. And when I say this word, not pleasant, I feel buzzing in my head, which confirms the truth of
What you're experiencing.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
And at the same time, I say, I don't feel like comfort. Do you feel something like when I say it's spreading on this side?
It's difficult to tell, I guess,
Yeah,
because of how
yeah,
I'm
we are not
sitting.
stable. Yeah.
So I think I am holding some muscular tension.
Muscular, yeah.
But maybe that's not. Yeah, so it's difficult because I feel if I relax, I might fall off the chair.
Yeah, I know, that's a challenge. We're
Okay, but I'll try to relax more. The dog's coming to help.
okay. Now I come with an image, and I will say words, say stuff, say what I experience watching this, and you will tell me what you feel in your body.
Okay.
I feel someone getting surprised. Uh, getting betrayed. It's not from your lifetime. It's something from far, far away. Something, we'll say, karmic. But as I said, like, we cannot prove this. The only thing we can prove is how your body is resonating. So that's why I'm keeping asking. So I see someone shot with a bullet, being betrayed, and there is something related to this person that have said too much about her gifts. It's kind of a period where talking about what we are talking about was not right. What are you feeling just now when I'm saying this?
I guess I feel some permission to. Maybe that's more of a thought, but like I don't know, like some excitement, like ooh, okay, maybe there's been a bit of a block, and like maybe this block is from before, and I can lean into this a bit more. So yeah, maybe some excitement, but.
I will say the words again, and you just concentrate on what you feel.
Okay.
I feel the memory of someone that has been betrayed, and I see someone shot with a bullet that feel betrayed, but saying her truth, she saying or sharing who she is, like having this vulnerability of sharing.
Yeah. Now I feel that more localized pain here, that feels very localized, like right here,
Yeah,
on this side.
and I feel like a lot of chills. It's kind of a dead end. It's something that this person was trapped. There was no way she could get out of this trap.
Now I'm feeling like some anxiety as you're talking, like
Yeah. I feel also uncomfort in the chest. And as I say, so I'm describing to see how the person is resonating. And from this, I don't go further. There's no need, like, we could see, like, what, from which age, which period it was. But I don't feel it's useful.
Okay.
Because to say I was this person, blah, 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 is just feeding the mind, but no useful for healing.
Okay.
And just the fact of saying things that is happening help already to have consciousness and to resonate with what's going on in your body. And after, from this point, so there I have the visualization of the bullet, of the person shot. And now I will work on this. So I do with my hands. It looks strange. Sorry. I'm like this, I'm strange. But I have noticed amongst 150 people that what I'm doing has effects.
So you do it.
So just just saying for people that are just wondering, because I've been always wondering when people do this, and I'm like, And sometimes explanations help also for better understanding of people that are not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel hot and uncomfortable. So I connect to this memory of this person that connected to you, and I envelop her into some white light, Unconditional love, yeah, compassion about this situation that happened and all the consequences. And releasing all the connection between you, like releasing all the emotional symptoms that are impacting you, whether now or in your daily life, because it's maybe something related to the direction you want to go to.
Yes, could be something that's been holding me back.
Yeah, holding you back, going through maybe a way to reassure the mind and something, but really who Helene is, it's more than this. And it's just
I really resonate with that and even have chills because I think I self-sabotage or make blocks for myself. Like the path is kind of clear and I worry. I like, this might look bad or this might not go well or I'm not worthy of this. So I block it a lot.
yeah. And always what I do is I keep the wisdom from this period of time that is connected to you. And I let this memory go back to the source, to a place of unconditional love. Connecting to this place where you felt uncomfort. Releasing all the tension, all the memories. Going back on this duodenum. Creating space and lightness. And here is more like the diaphragm on this side, and even more located here. In French, it's la plèvre du diaphragme. It's the connection of the diaphragm and the chest ribs. In my body, in these different places that I feel more peace, quietness. And now I'm asking you if you feel something.
So I feel a bit like, so it's not, I wouldn't say it's on one side, but maybe on both sides, like I don't know, like a sheet or something that's come out. And before, I don't feel it as much, but before I felt like a warm presence on this shoulder. But it was calming me down, like, yeah, like felt like this, calming me down.
Yeah, while you say this, I feel, yeah, chills, like.
I also feel I had a bit of an image as to this person. I don't know, you never know, but I feel like it's maybe like in Haiti or like some, I feel like it's like an African lineage, like maybe a slave era or something like that. That's sort of how I see it, like a witch doctor, or it doesn't feel like, because at first I was thinking, but that was more my head, like in a Western or something in America. But when I was sinking into my body, I was seeing more this like slave period. Yeah.
And when you say this, how do you feel in your body?
Feels like a yes.
And how the yes is arising?
Oh, these are difficult questions. I felt it more when I was seeing it, it was just like, and I see like, it's sort of like a witch doctor, kind of.
Mm.
Witch doctor woman.
Hmm.
Um, maybe not, maybe not a woman. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, some sort of, I don't know.
Mm. How do you feel in your back?
Oh, yeah, I do not feel it. Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I do feel good. Hey, I do. Okay, that's nice.
Because before you had tension there?
Well, yes, a lot, but I just thought it was from the chair because I'm not sitting
Ah,
very
yeah, okay, okay.
comfy. But yeah, I feel nothing.
Ah, okay,
That's actually pretty crazy. Yeah, yes, if anything, now I feel a little bit something in my hip, but yeah,
okay,
okay.
okay, okay.
Ooh, that's cool.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's basically how I work and like
Mm,
going from one area to another, and from this I tune again in my body and what is there for you. And
yeah. Well, I'm grateful and happy that I chose, to ask for what's needed because there's no way I could have known that from another life
yeah,
but I must say I feel better.
yeah,
So thank you.
yeah, pleasure.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your gifts with me today.
Thank you for the nice conversation, and it was a pleasure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I'm really excited to see what unfolds. You said a couple of times,
Yes,
wait to see in your life what you notice. So I'm excited to keep in touch with you and share also with people watching what's
yes.
happened.